Yes, welcome into Sports Bet. Betting Insight today, Paulie and Drew Martin. Wednesday, June 21st. Big game breakdown, some knockout information coming on Verlander and Paxton. Also, we'll get to Carrasco, who seems his favorite in every start. He's in action on the hill tonight against the Orioles and Gaussman with some horrible numbers on him. And we'll get out of here with the play of the day. Thursday, we'll do an NBA draft preview show with a ton of props. For the first time ever, we can bet on this in Las Vegas. We'll have some offshore props to kick around as well. So we'll get to that, and we'll get to more big news. There could be some more trades as well. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books coming up. Bettors got slammed on Tuesday. The biggest line moves of the day went down, and the books got hammered again on the Dodgers total. They can hit, man. They can mash. And the Dodgers got their total themselves as well. Now, plenty of rumors and plenty of news in the NBA, Drew. How bad was the Mozgov contract for the Lakers? Jeannie Buss told her brother, Tommy Boy Jim, whatever you do, don't take on any bad contracts. Last year at the start of free agency, and at 12:01, he gives Mozgov $64 million. In order to move him, they had to put Russell, the second overall pick in the draft, in the deal. They get Lopez back, who's playing out the final year of his deal. They are clearing more cap space for George and possibly LeBron. What do you think of the move, Drew?
I mean, it's a wild move as far as money goes. And what about for Lorenzo Ball? Could they be opening the door for him as well?
Lonzo, yeah. They'll take Lonzo number 2, no doubt, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it'd be wild if they could bring in another big name. It'd be a hell of a jump for the organization there, Paulie.
They're still trying to trade for Paul George. They have 3 first-round picks now. Maybe you throw Randall and Clarkson in there as well. If they get Paul George with Lopez, Lonzo Ball, and Ingram, is that a playoff team in a loaded Western Conference?
I think it is. Where do you stand on that?
Portland's going to get better. Portland could add Millsap. It's going to be close. They might be the 8th seed, but at least there's hope in Lakerland, and I would definitely do that trade. Whatever you do, don't take any chances that George could go elsewhere. The Rockets are trying to get him. Maybe the Cavs can wind up with him. Don't let him go somewhere where he could like it, and maybe sign a deal there too. He can say all he wants about, I want to play in Los Angeles. Go get George. Give up Clarkson, who can't defend. Give up Randall, and give up some of those picks that you have as well. Go get them now. All right, let's go to bad bets. Look at this, Drew. An 80-cent move on the Yankees. Went off as $3 favorites at home. Pineda roughed up. It was Clippard again who blew it. They were down 3-1. They tied it at 3. Judge hit another home run. Maben hits a home run. Clippard only gets 1 out, which is a long fly ball to center at the wall for Pujols. Yankees have lost 7 in a row. What were the bettors thinking in this one?
Yeah, minus 225 up to minus $3. I mean, it was obviously the wrong side. And like you touched on, just the middle relief for the Yankees has been awful of late. When you look at their stats from before their West Coast road trip to compare them to now, it's absolutely night and day. And like you said, Tyler Clippard, he blew it, only made 1 out. It was a deep fly ball to Albert Pujols. And you got to start thinking, I mean, is Girardi going to start using Betances in the 7th inning until Adam Warren returns from the DL? It really might happen. And we got a quote here, throw it up, from Joe Girardi. I think you can do that for a short period of time, but I think it starts to wear on guys physically. So I prefer not to do that, but we might have to look at some different things as we move forward. So, Paulie, their middle relief issues are really starting to rear their ugly head, and they got to turn it around somehow.
Yeah. Well, that and Clippard, a big reason why the West Coast road trip was such a disaster. That guy's got 4 losses already, and Girardi's doing a bad job the last week and a half, too. And I know Yankee fans are, again, pissed off that Chris Carter's in that lineup as well. Indians, 25-cent move. They go down. Machado hits 2 home runs. Tillman didn't have it again, though. We'll do more on that later with this Orioles pitching staff. But his ERA's up to 8.5. And ESPN Stats and Info tweet, the Orioles have allowed at least 5 runs in 17 straight games. It's the major's 2nd longest streak in the last 100 years. Can you believe that, Drew?
No, that's a crazy stat when I was reading that before the show. And, yeah, his ERA for Tillman, I was thinking it was 3.8 something. It's 8.3. I had it definitely turned around. But the offense actually came through for the Orioles. Manny Machado, he's been off to a slow start, went 4 for 4 with a couple of home runs. So it might be a buy signal for him in fantasy world. And, the Orioles, I was on the wrong side of that one. And the Orioles might be a buy low candidate right now, Paulie.
Another bad bet. I don't know what they were thinking here. The Cardinal-Philly total, which was bet up from 9 to 10. It was 1-1 after 10 innings. And then the Cardinals had a 7 spot. Well, that was it was almost a vicious beat in that one. But 8-1 final. I don't know what the bettors were thinking there, Drew.
Yeah, full line move from 9 to 10, and when it's 1-1 in the 10th inning, it's definitely the wrong side. But they almost got there with the Cardinals putting up 7 in the 11th.
Bad for the books. It's every night. Mets-Dodgers total up to 8.5 tonight. Of course, the Dodgers took more money. McCarthy pitched well. Gesellman had nothing. Bellinger hits another home run, and the Dodgers in their last 4 games have scored 10, 8, 10, and 12 runs. And Seager hits 3 bombs, Drew. Yeah,
Seager hit 3, and Cody Bellinger added another one. It's he's got a hell of a stat going. We have a stat here. We'll throw it up for you. Cody Bellinger is the first rookie in MLB history with 10 home runs in a 10-game span. That kind of jumped off the board for me. Corey Seager, like we said, he had 3 home runs. His second 3-home run game, actually the only player younger than him to do it was a guy named Boog Powell. Not sure if you know anything about him, Paulie. I sure don't. Must have been a long time ago. And, so the Dodgers are absolutely a buy-on candidate. I wouldn't step in front of them anytime soon, Paulie.
Good hitter. They love his barbecue, too. That's right. They cool him off after the game with the shower, the Gatorade bath as well. And speaking about getting cooled off, throw the picture up there again. Teddy Covers, still on vacation on the beach. Teddy, 117-degree record heat here in Las Vegas. Boy, you got it easy all week. We'll see him coming up back on the show on Monday. Up next, big game breakdown, Indians and the Orioles. And we'll get to Paxton, who's been off of the last 2 starts. Is he injured? That's coming up next on SportsBit. Betting Insight today on SBRPicks.com.
What's up, everyone? I'm Drew Martin with SBR. Want to give you an update on a free handicapping contest that we're putting together. It's called the MLB June Bet Points Contest. The purse is 1,500 SBR bet points, which go to the top 5 finishers. The top 5 finishers also get an SBR t-shirt, and the winner of the contest can be featured on one of SBR's shows. I'm Drew Martin for SBR. Make sure to find it on the SBR tab on the SBR website. I'll see you in the contest.
Back on SportsBit, Betting Insight today, Paulie and Drew Martin. Time for big game breakdown. As always, live odds, SBR odds, and sportsbook review. Check out the rating guide. Make sure you're betting with a trustworthy shop out there. Game number 1, Indians and the Orioles. Carrasco against Gossman. Indians, $1.55, 9.5 the total, over -120. A running SportsBit storyline. The Sharps love Carrasco, and they always thought he was a good pitcher. Now he's starting to put the pieces together and becoming an elite pitcher. Better started backing him early, and they haven't looked back. The Indians are 10-3 in his last 13 starts, despite 7 of them on the road. Never been lower than $1.44, and the average lay price is -190. The odds makers know what's coming, but they can't stop it because they're going to continue to bet him, Drew, because they keep cashing tickets.
Yeah, we see it time in and time out with him, and really with flamethrowers with his type of profile across the MLB betting landscape. So we're going to continue to see it going forward, both from the odds makers and the bettors. Just take it to the next level. Also for the Indians, you got to look at their lineup, Paulie. I mean, the middle of their lineup is absolutely scorching. We have a stat here. The last 8 games, Jose Ramirez and Edwin Encarnacion, you can see it here, absolutely killing it. Encarnacion has 5 home runs and 13 ribbies. It's something you got to definitely take note if you're looking to maybe sell on the Indians. You got to really be careful for that. Hot lineup. Bad news for Baltimore pitching. The Orioles, Kevin Gausman, he's really fallen off the table. We got some stats we'll throw up for you here. Just compare his 2016 to 2017. Pretty much worse across the board. His last 2 starts, 9 innings pitched, 14 runs, 9 walks, and only 7 Ks. That's just ugly from the Orioles starter. Buck Showalter, we got a quote right here. Every mistake is kind of magnified. He's having trouble getting the count back in his favor. They're able to box out some pitches on him. Unless he can get a breaking ball over behind in the count, it's been a little bit of a challenge for him.
I can't believe those numbers. I mean, this guy is fade material, go against. More on this coming up. I mean, throw it up there again. Look at the ERA. Look at the 3.61 to a 6.60, the FIP, and then the strikeouts per 9 and the walks per 9. Forget about it. The strikeouts are way down and the walks are way up, which is a recipe for disaster. Now, do we point the finger at Roger McDowell, the second spitter? First year as the Orioles pitching coach. You look at theirs as a staff. 2016, the ERA was 4.22. This year it's 5 and change. The fielding independent pitching gone up. Strikeouts per 9 down, and the walks are up too. Not his fault Britton got hurt, but Bundy has fallen off. We told you about that yesterday on the show. Tillman's fallen off. Jimenez has fallen off. Gossman's fallen off. So if you see 4 guys who are going down big time, I think I agree with our stats guy here. You point the finger at McDowell, the pitching coach. What's going on here? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Zach Britton wasn't his fault, but when you got other big names all going down, Paulie, who else do you blame? Somebody's got to go. It's one of those things in baseball. If the team's sucking, the manager's got to go. If the whole pitching staff is falling off, you got to point the finger at somebody. So he might be on the hot seat here.
All right, we'll get involved in this coming up. Game number 2, live odds, SBR Odds Sportsbook Review Rating Guide. Check it out. Make sure you're betting with a trustworthy shop. Tigers and Mariners, Verlander and Paxton. Seattle $1.40, 8.5 the total. Too much respect for Verlander here, but look at Paxton. Looks like he's good when he's healthy, but will he ever stay healthy? 28 years old, still only 341 innings in his career, never more than 121 in a season. Got up to a great start this year. Started 5-0 with a 1.69. Then the wheels came off the last 2 starts. 7 2/3, 11 runs, 15 hits, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. Is he hurt again? He says no. I beg to differ. Paxton, quote, something's definitely not right. The past few starts, you can tell something's not quite right there, but I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to fix it. There's no issue with my arm. I'm not hurt. Just the timing's off. Here's service. You just don't have any rhythm at all. Even the secondary stuff wasn't sharp tonight. We've got to figure it out. Everything looks like a struggle. He's a big part trying to dig us out of this little hole we've created here, end quote. So certainly something not right with Paxton. Not a ringing endorsement there from the manager. But do you want to back Verlander, Drew? Because look at the innings and the pitches with this guy. The pitches go way up because the bullpen stinks.
Exactly. They got to leave him in to face the lineups for maybe the turn time around. But, when you talk about Paxton, you hit on a lot of good stats. And keep in mind, all of the really good numbers he put up were before he went on the DL. Since he's come back, maybe he came back too soon. We don't know, Paulie, but that has been a good fade candidate. I'm actually on board to fade Paxton more than Verlander, although Verlander's kind of been a fade for a little while for definitely some sharp bettors. But he appeared to rejuvenate his career last year, going 16-9, just over a 3 ERA for Verlander. He threw over 220 innings at the age of 33. So that's a lot of work for a guy getting up into his mid-30s. We have some stats here comparing his ERA, FIP, Ks per 9 from last year to this year. You can see he's up across the board pretty much. His Ks are down from 10 to 8.2 per 9. Base on balls, he's pretty much doubled, and the all-important swinging strike rate is down. So it's a problem this season. Lousy bullpen, like you touched on, Paulie. So with 2 possible fade candidates starting pitchers, this over might look a bit appetizing.
Yes, you mentioned the walks per 9. That's almost doubled. And then the swinging strike rate. Look at that. He's not throwing it by people, and he's not fooling anybody either, as that's a big drop. Now, the lousy bullpen keeps him stretching out innings and keeps him in there too long. He's thrown at least 103 pitches in 12 of his 14 starts, 5 times over 110. Mercy. But the bullpen's already been tagged for 14 losses after last night. The Tigers bullpen, 27th in ERA, 29th in FIP, 30th in XFIP. And maybe they're taking pitches early on to make Verlander work. They're doing it on purpose. Look at this number of starts with pitches per inning of 15.5 or less. 2016, 13. This year, 0. Really making them work in that one. So you like the over then? You think you'll play the over tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw it opened 8.5, got bet up to 9, and then this morning when I woke up, it was 8.5. So I I fired on the over there, Paulie. So hopefully this comes through tonight.
All right, we tough beat last night. Play of the day lost with the Diamondbacks. We had the lead in the bottom of the 8th, Drew. I thought a bad job. Once Greinke gives up this single with 1 out to Blackman, you got to take him out of the game. They kept him in there. He gave up 3 more hits and blew the lead.
Yeah, especially, Paulie, in Colorado, you don't want to let the Colorado lineup see your pitcher 3 and 4 times through. That one hurt, man. Even though it's Greinke, I would have taken him out for sure, but ended up costing us. We did have the lead there 3-2 and ended up giving it up 4-3. Those are the ones that hurt. You don't forget those for a little while.
Let's bounce back. Bet of the day. Betting number 919. Indians -155. Middle of Cleveland order bashing. Killing it. We told you with Ramirez and Encarnacion. Gausman in the weak bullpen won't get in the way either. Indians to bounce back. Will bounce back. Lay the run line too. Live a little bit. Put a little, sprinkle in a run line on that too with the Indians against Gausman. Again, a horrible pitching staff with the Baltimore. 919 the Indians. $1.55 and also a piece of the run line. Thursday, NBA draft props, NBA odds, what the Lakers could do if they get George clearing away for LeBron. We'll explore everything and kick it around, and plus 1 game to go over in Major League Baseball as well. Numbers on Alex Wood, you won't believe. They pushed him back to Friday with the big series against the Rockies, but we'll run down his numbers. There's a reason why they pushed him back as well. All that coming up on Thursday Sports Betting Insight today on SBRpicks.com. Thanks for watching.